You probably want to buy a business, and you probably want to buy a business with creative finance. So this video is going to teach you a handful of lessons. Lesson number one, just because a property or a business is listed at $400,000, it doesn't mean you need to be offering. And if a broker is challenging you and not working with you on offering a creative solution to the seller, just wait until the broker ends up losing the listing. That's what Carlie Romer did on this particular deal, a carpet cleaning business. He bought the business for $100,000 on creative finance, on seller finance, and yes, he put some money down. He put $15,000 down. The structure of this deal was, I'm buying it for $100,000, I'm gonna give you $15,000 down, and then quarterly, I will give you $8,000 every single quarter until that $100,000 is paid all the way off. Now, in the very beginning, you're gonna hear the story about how he found the deal, how he went around the broker, and ultimately went to the seller directly. But the best part about the deal is that he built the deal with a structure that the cash flow from the business paid the payments for him, effectively getting this carpet cleaning business for free. Great structure. I really want you to hear this interview, but a couple of things I want you to also know. We love working with brokers, but not the ones that will refuse to submit the offers to the sellers. Just wait those guys out, work with the seller. Second thing I want you to know is that this was a failing business. The seller had moved from Alaska, yep, creative finance deals happen in Alaska, all the way to Costa Rica and was not watching the business. Buying businesses is not a passive endeavor until you get the business to a point where you can hire people in place and automate it. The seller previous to Carlie had not done that, and so when he took his eyes off the business, it started declining in sales and ultimately giving an amazing opportunity to Carlie Romer. In this video, you're gonna learn where he found the deal, we're gonna tour the shop, we're gonna see that creative finance deals are everywhere, and we're gonna see how you can structure a business and that purchase to fund the payments to the seller. Let's get into it.
So really quickly, have you heard of this guy here?
No. Trinity, what up?
Nice to meet you.
Hi Sherry Senior. I'm Pace, nice to meet you. I'm Carlie's friend.
So that's Mike, Cecil, and Keenan.
This is what we'd like to do throughout the day periodically because we really care about our culture and our company.
Mm-hmm. It's like sitting down and jamming together.
Yeah.
So this is your building?
Yes.
And these are your companies?
Yes.
Okay, so you do steam cleaning?
I don't do it, the guys do it.
Okay, the guys do it.
So we do residential, home cleaning, and small office. And then the company we just bought, J&S Steamway, they do carpet cleaning, upholstery, area rugs, and restoration.
Okay.
So we started Simply Clean from scratch. We bought the other one.
And the one you bought generates $80,000 a month in revenue, and your payment to the seller on the note is less than $3,000.
A month, yeah, essentially. And that's at 3% interest too.
What was the purchase price of the business?
So originally they wanted $400K for the business, which was, in my opinion, way too much. It was listed with the broker too for 2 years, and she was just awful. As you say, agents are terrible, but business brokers are even worse. Like, there's a reason only 10% sell.
Yeah.
It's because they're awful.
So $400,000, what was the finished purchase price?
So he actually talked himself, and I said, what do you want? And he said $100,000. I was like, okay, done. And so, I gave him his price on the business. We're also offering the price he wanted for the building, which was $1.3 million. And we're like, I'll give you your price as long as you give me my terms. And he said, done. And the terms I gave him were the 90-day down payment, which again was funded by the business.
Love it.
And then
were you so proud of him for structuring this?
Yeah. I didn't do anything.
This is what he got so busy that he wasn't able to clean his truck for a couple months. Okay, so Carlie got this business for $100,000 when it was originally listed for $400,000. Most new people would have looked at that $400,000 listing and said, this is not worth my time, my energy, or the squeeze. It's just not worth it. Well, think about this. Guys, the pretty girls are always going to be dating someone else. You can't just go, I'm sorry, that's not a good opportunity. You gotta follow up, follow up, follow up. There's always an opportunity by following up. Look at Grant Cardone, good friend of mine. I think he followed up with Elena Cardone 56 times before she went on a date with him. When you see something that you want, go and attack it, go after it, go and seize the moment. Now, what did Carlie see that other new people don't see? is Carlie's in the SubTo community. He understands creative finance. I own 16 units with this guy. He's smart and he understands, I know what follow-up looks like. I know that the market will lower that price because nobody's gonna pay $400, and I'm gonna wait until that price goes down to a reasonable number, and then I'm gonna strike a deal that nobody else will. While everybody else is learning how to do traditional finance, get an SBA loan, are you kidding me? Get an SBA loan for 90% of the purchase and then put 10% down. Carlie Romer understood creative finance and he understood how to structure a deal where he could be no money out of pocket. So that is the difference between a new person and somebody that understands creative finance. Okay, so $100,000 for the business, phenomenal.
Yeah.
1.3 million for the building. The building is on what terms?
Agreement for sale, so
Okay.
essentially a SubTo, right?
Yeah, it's basically a SubTo where the deed hasn't transferred yet.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got that. Your payment with him is $4,500 a month for the building. At what interest rate?
So the interest rate for the building, well, the monthly is $41.91. The interest rate is at 4%.
Okay, so that's on the building.
Yes.
Then on the business, you bought it for $100,000. What were your terms? 15 grand down,
And
which
then-
the business funded essentially. Then you pay him $8,000 a month every quarter. You pay $8,000.
That's at 3.5%.
3.5%. You'll pay that thing off pretty quick.
Yeah, less than 3 years.
Wow. Okay,
I mean,
so
we could probably do that.
so it
in 2
generates
years.
$80,000 a month.
Yeah.
Which pays for the payroll, the building, pays for the payment to the seller.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your net is on the business? You making 20 grand a month?
We could, but we've been putting everything back into the business because
In terms of what? New equipment, new what?
equipment, marketing, sales, we've just
If
Yeah.
you decided not to put the money back in the business, what would you be netting right now?
we probably over 30%.
So 25,000 bucks a month.
Yeah,
Wow.
easily.
So you might be asking the question, when should you start taking cash flow instead of reinvesting cash flow? If you read books like Profit First, they're gonna tell you take the cash flow immediately. Well, this is a personal decision. So for me, I was taking cash flow from my properties, but then I decided I really wanted to grow, and growing required me to hire team members. And so I took the cash flow from my properties and stopped paying myself. Instead, I started hiring people and reinvesting into a team. I did that after probably 24 months, built a sizable team, and now that team runs my entire business. It depends on your speed. Do you want to buy one RV park, one carpet cleaning business, and be done and just start extracting the cash flow and retire? You can do that. People like Carlie Romer and his wife do not want to do that. What they want to do is they want to reinvest and they want to grow big. They have way bigger goals than what that business can do on its own. And so they're reinvesting. They're not ready to harvest yet. That is a personal decision. What happens when people are watching the YouTube channel, they go, wait, I want to buy a business and take money from it right away because I want to quit my job. Then do that. Carlie Romer doesn't have a job. He's been in the SubTo community for 4+ years, and he's been doing real estate investing full time. He can afford to take that money and reinvest it. That is a personal decision that you have to make.
That was all
You bought them when?
May of this year.
Okay, so was that the thing you messaged me about?
Yeah, so I was messaging you about the real estate because it's under an SBA 504 loan.
That's right, yeah.
And I wasn't sure if I should take it over SubTo, and you're like, hell no, don't do that.
Just do a contract for deed.
Yes.
So you bought the business and the building all in one?
Yes. So the real estate is still in the process, but the business, we're closed and currently making the, note payment. Well, we haven't made our first note payment because we structured a $15K down payment with a 90-day pay.
Runway, yeah.
So,
What's your monthly payment to them?
so we do that quarterly actually, and
What's
so,
the monthly pay on the business? She knows the answers.
Like monthly in terms of what?
the note is.
Oh, she doesn't know?
She doesn't know. It's quarterly, so our quarterly payment's just about $8,000.
Yeah.
So every 3 months we pay $8,000.
And
the
what
business
does it generate?
generates about $76K a month alone. And the business funded the down payment and so forth. So it's $0 out of pocket.
Okay, so 76K, that's this payroll that you're covering over here. Come in the video.
So payroll, we pay weekly. Payroll's about $6,500
Yeah.
A week.
every week. Yeah.
That's
So
for
you're-
that company,
so
and then
you're-
for our Simply Clean business is different.
Yeah, the issue that we had why we didn't purchase the building SubTo was because
There's an SBA loan on it, and
Yep.
SBA.
504.
When you do an SBA, when there's an SBA loan, the SBA actually tracks their loans and actually pays attention to the loans.
Super strict.
They're super strict, and so what they want is they want the business owner to still remain on the reporting. And so I told Carlie, I said, do not do a SubTo deal. Don't transfer the deed. Keep it in the seller's name. Do an agreement for sale or a contract for deed. Alaska calls them contract for deed. And he said, well, there's an attorney that says X, Y, and Z. I said, that attorney's an idiot. Find somebody else. And he did. So this might be confusing for people. He didn't buy this property SubTo or seller finance. He bought this on a contract for deed, which is under the umbrella of creative finance. Now in the SubTo community, we teach all 26 strategies of creative finance. Morby method, SubTo, hybrid, seller finance, lease options. I could go on and on and on. Contract for deed is one of those. The reason I would not do a SubTo deal and I would do a contract for deed is because this has the SBA involved, Small Business Association. So why is that a big deal? Well, the SBA requires that if I buy the property SubTo, the deed is now going to be in my name. The SBA requires quarterly updates from the person who has the loan in their name to submit those in their name, and they really watch the deed like a hawk. So the difference between a contract for deed and a SubTo deal, this might be confusing. You guys can go into other videos and watch this on a whiteboard breakdown. A SubTo deal, the deed goes all the way into my name and we put that on county recorder's office. It is in my name, public record. A contract for deed, the seller signs off on the deed, but we put it in a safety deposit box, not recording it at the county recorder's office. Why? Because I don't want anybody to know that that ownership has transferred, and the only way they would know if it transferred is if I actually recorded it at the county recorder's office. So a SubTo deal is fully going and recording it at the county recorder's office. A contract for deed means I'm putting the contract for deed in a safety deposit box at a bank or what have you. And so I own the document, the deed. The deed has my name on it. I just have simply not recorded it at public records. So if the SBA is involved or reverse mortgage is involved or some other hard money lenders, you don't want them to know you bought it SubTo, sometimes an HOA lien or tax liens. You want to avoid anybody finding out you bought the property while you're working on it. You want to just do a contract for deed. This is why people come into the SubTo communities, because I don't just teach SubTo, I teach all creative finance strategies and how to get around all those pesky little annoying things like the SBA. So here we are, we own this business now.
Yep.
See how I just made myself a partner? Okay, so you guys own this business now, which is awesome. You already own the cleaning business.
Yeah.
I imagine the cleaning business in Alaska is pretty lucrative, except finding employees is probably really hard.
It was
I paid for somebody else's knowledge, and it's not hard anymore.
Oh, okay,
So
what'd you learn?
We constantly are hiring and are
Running
when
constant ads.
We have a hiring team, so we're doing a minimum of 15 interviews a month if we're not in a hiring time period. If we like somebody, they'll get put on a wait list, and then eventually a schedule will be
Smart.
built for them. If we are in a high hiring season, it's 15 interviews a day.
Yeah.
So like summertime.
And
so
we-
I have somebody
yeah, we get a lot.
constantly, and our budget will differ depending on the time of year. Summer, of course, we pay more to hire more people. Wintertime, we don't have to worry about it, but we maintain our employees because we budget for it.
Okay.
Unlike other companies.
Number one reason why people choose their markets when everybody else thinks there's not a deal, think about Fargo, North Dakota, right? We've done YouTube videos in Fargo, North Dakota. You don't see the opportunities until you are in that city, especially Anchorage, Alaska. We assume that it's nothing but moose and geese and grizzly bears. Well, that's 80% of the population. But the people that live there, they drive by the businesses, they hire the businesses, they see the opportunity every single day. And so you're gonna have a hard time in some of these smaller markets unless you live there or you know somebody that lives there instead of you. Bro, people need to see what a real business looks like, Carlie. Come on, this is what it...
Well,
You know?
we haven't focused on the real estate side. It's mostly just grown the business so far. Another restoration office, and then here's where the area rugs, they're clean, and then they come up here to dry. We've got 10 vans that are outside,
Wait. You bought the business for $100,000 with 10 vans.
Yes. And all the equipment inside here too.
Bro.
And the four-wheeler.
And the
And you
four-wheeler.
bought it on Creative Finance.
Yes.
Bro.
That I learned from you.
I know, but you're an action taker, dude. Like, what? That's a good deal.
It is. Then the
And
lawyer kept
also,
saying
it took
that
a
too.
lot for you to realize, like, this is not worth 400 grand. When you first, how long did you work the lead?
Probably a year, 2 years, because it was on the market for quite some time, year and a half.
Totally worth it. Good things are worth the wait, right?
Have a good one, C.
If you're watching this right now and you have zero deal flow, here's the first thing I would do. Are you a finder or are you a keeper? Okay, a keeper would be somebody that already has good active income. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, somebody on my media team. These guys are rich. They're so rich. If you already have a job, you don't need to go chase another job. Being a finder is a job. You're finding deals for other people. So what are you? Tell me in the comments. Are you a finder or are you a keeper? If you're a finder, which I would imagine most people watching the YouTube channel that are just kind of getting started are probably finders, is what I would do is I would go into our free Facebook group and I would find SubTo members that are buying deals, the keepers, and start looking for deals specifically for those people. This gives you an advantage because they'll tell you exactly what they're looking for, what's a good deal, what's a bad deal. They'll have proof of funds. They'll have the ability to walk you through a transaction. Go and watch our bird dog training. We'll put it down below and you can see how you can bird dog for other people if you're just a finder. If you're a keeper, pretty simple. Start calling people, start picking up the phone, start doing your job. Really good places to go is bizscout.com, bizbuysell, landwatch.com, Prexy.com, loopnet.com. So many websites that you can go to where you can find businesses for sale, and a lot of them are on creative finance. You just have to learn how to negotiate, which is what I teach in the SubTo community.
This is a SubTo car as well.
Tell me you got this in the purchase.
No.
Oh, separate.
This was completely separate.
I love it.
But yes.
It's a great car.
SubTo car, agreement for sale for the building, seller finance for the business.
This is creative Carlie, bro. Creative Carlie, just doing all the creative deals, apartment buildings, freaking businesses, cars, all the things. Oh my gosh, how good is that? It's like you buy a business for 100 grand on creative finance that makes you 25 grand a month.
Yeah.
Bro, good job.
Thank you.
The whole world is proud of you. Freaking mother of mercy. If you guys like videos like this where we're traveling all over the country and visiting members of my community and showing their highlights, their wins, and inspiring you, please make a comment down below, share this with a friend, and let us know what you think. We want to make more stuff for you, but what types of businesses would you like to see? Let us know. Comments are right down there below, and we'll see you guys in another video.